Hey, so as you can tell, I'm on the screen right now doing the stream show with Mary Lou, and I am so excited about this. I'm like a big fan. Like, is that okay for me to say on the show? Like, normally, you wouldn't just be all fanboying on your guest or girling, whatever you want to call it. Like, but I'm a huge fan of your content.
Oh, what is it that you like?
That's a good question. I like that. To me, uh, it's advanced settings. Like you are current, you're trending. It is right now what Instagram is doing, what TikTok is doing. Let me show you how to do this. Like I would never be using CapCut if you hadn't said use CapCut. Now I like
Right.
sometimes editing inside of the apps. Sometimes I think it's
Hmm.
cool, like Instagram. I use, of course, the audio, and I'm using sound effects. So my sound effects would come right out of Instagram inside of their, editing platform, and I might edit in CapCut. And now I'm editing in um, Canva.
Mm.
I'm editing Canva, but it's different. It's not as good as CapCut. But you know what? We have people that are shouting us out. So G Albert is saying hello to the Ecamm family. How are you doing, sir? I create real shorts. Okay, there you go. How to learn how to do it. Then thank you. And then I have this other young lady that I like hanging out with. She's saying, "Hey, friends," and Mr. Moderator himself, Paul, is hanging out with us today. Paul, thank you so very much for being here. And then I have Miss what? You're right too. Well, I thank you so very much, Keely, for saying that. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We have so much to talk about, and I'm doing the countdown because you can see it like right here, and we're just kind of catching up right now because I'm such a big fan. What have you been up to? Let me just start with that, Mary Lou.
Well, so because we're about to go into the last quarter of the year, that's a big shopping push. It's a big push for creators. Like if you're monetized and you're really working to get the eye of brands to sponsor you, I feel like
Right?
August is a really good time to be making a heavy push. So right now, like if you look at my account, it's or like my YouTube channel, there's a lot of like consumer tech reviews and
I've seen that.
unboxing, and it's like mixed in with the tutorials. Now, if I go way back, right, to when this channel was started, it was supposed to be a tech channel. So like
Okay.
there were like I reviewed TVs. I was like the headphone queen for a minute. Like every company was sending me headphones and I was like, I can't have any more headphones. But it was that's what it was. And then I did also do tutorials because social media is technology, right? That is technology that we're using and I'm passionate about it and I have the knowledge, so let me share it. And that stuff popped during the pandemic. So over the past 2 years, right, it's been heavy into content tutorials. And now I'm folding it back into having some consumer tech in there. So that's really been the big push right now. So right now I'm uploading like every weekday a video, which is not the normal for me on YouTube.
Okay.
Um, I've got the energy for it and I'm like
Let's go.
excited about it,
That's
right?
cool.
So,
That's cool.
and that's the thing with like being a creator, right? Is like when it hits, you better just ride the wave,
While you have
because
it, that is so true. That is so
yes, and
true.
it's okay to
So
have something.
I would have bought a Dyson, but I don't have enough
Yeah.
hair for that. And I'm saying that, of course, because guys, if you don't know, like one of the consumer products that she did a video on was the Dyson hair dryer, and I thought it was cool. I like everything you do, so don't judge me. Let me say this: Hard Work TV, thanks for the information, and also Mr. Coleman says thanks for the information. I love Canva. Canva to me is really cool. I do a lot of work in Canva. Like I'm in Canva for if I'm working an 8-hour day, 4 of the hours is right inside of Canva.
Yeah, I
Graphics,
do so much
flyers,
in Canva.
like it's a one-stop shop. They have a couple of things that if they do them, um, what's that other app that the script? Like they're
Uh-huh.
really close to taking Descript out of business. If they just have the captions where you could
That
do the
that one
captions,
part.
that
Mhm.
one part, like if someone tells them that, lights,
camera, action. Join the stream team with Strick and Brant and be a part of the Stream Network. Our goal is really simple. We're here to help you succeed.
So I love that part of the show. I have it like my countdown is timed at 5 minutes, and I always just kind of forget, and it just interrupts me with join the stream team. But thank you guys for coming in today. Please let me know where you're coming in from, what city you're from, and say hello to, of course, my guest, Marielou. And I got Will here. Will is saying, hey, Marielou, how many Lou Nanics are in the chat? I need to know that as well. And, of course, I love the energy that Marielou brings to all of her videos because I am the biggest fan. Like, I'm starting the Marielou fan club, and none of you guys are invited. Without further ado, let me bring her back on the show. I had to get it out while you were there, while you were kind of behind the scene. I can just talk about Marielou so I wouldn't have you blushing on the screen. And I'm gonna be professional and not be professional when I gloat on how much I really love your content. Like when you said, hey, I would come to be on the show, have you on Instagram, watch all the Instagrams, and personally, I think the last time you were on the show, you just taught me like so much, and you said, hey, this is how you do this. I was like, we need that. So many times we have our people that are actually doing the work, like they're consultants, but they don't actually do it. So Brewing Media is from Texas. Rocky is from Las Vegas. Rocky, I hadn't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming back to the stream show. And then I got somebody else, Stefan, what's up, from Austin. And I have the home place saying, hey, everybody, how are you guys doing? This is so very cool that you guys are on with me today, and I hope you can hear everything well. I am going to ask so many questions from Marielou, and I want all of you guys, of course, to be a part of what we have going on today because I'm excited about it. So I've talked to her behind the stage, and I say, hey, when I gloat on you, it's not to embarrass you, but I'm such a big fan, and I know you guys are as well. So I'm going to get down into really talking about how to create reels, how to create YouTube shorts, how to create those TikTok videos that we see Marielou do. Like, she does them really well, and we need to be on top of that. She asked me the best question. She said, when I said, I like your content, she came back with the best question ever, which is why. And I had to explain, like, hey, this is why I like what you do. Like, the way you're able to explain how you do what you do on your YouTube channel and being able to see you do the work on your TikTok or on Ecamm Live's TikTok. So this is why I like her, because not only is she showing you how to do it, you can actually see her do it. So I actually have seen it first, and then we'll go get the tutorials, and I'm like, oh my God, that is so cool. And I have some people from San Diego hanging out with us, and G. Albert, thank you so very much. Is it still Paul's birthday? Paul, I don't know. Happy birthday to you. Paul, the moderator, did have a birthday this week. So shouts out to you for hanging out with us. And we have so many people in the chat. Let me do this. Let me bring her back. And there you are again. So thank you so very much I know that it was a little bit of technical glitch, but I had a chance to talk and kind of set everybody up. That being said, can we just dive down into these reels, TikTok videos, and YouTube shorts? Like, is this the way of the future?
Yes, I would definitely say that it is, and it's been a long time coming that short form video was the thing, because you think, like, how many times have you watched a YouTube video and they're doing their beautiful intro that they put all this work into, and you're like, oh, I just need to learn the thing. Just tell me the one thing.
The one thing.
So that's kind of where I turned into what I do is answering single question, like making single topic videos. And as much as I love doing a long form video, and I think they're really fun, and there's ways to do that we can talk about, that you can chop up into shorter form videos.
Right.
But it's really about making the snippets that get to the point. They will come for the longer stuff. but you have
Okay.
to be there with the snippets.
So how exactly? So okay, tell me about the new camera because I gotta go. I had a new
My goodness.
camera about two. It was a month ago. I added a new camera in, and I had all the same issues. What camera are you using?
Okay, so you guys, I won the Ecamm affiliate contest. So those of you
Uh,
guys that have supported me, I really, really appreciate it. It like means a lot.
okay,
I
I'm
have a
jealous
long
about that
time.
because I was in the running, but I was way in the back of the line, and I heard your name. Was like, okay, I mean, what can you do?
Well, the drama of all the new gear that like it just comes with the territory. So the camera I was using when we first started the stream was the Sony ZVE-10.
Uh-huh.
I still haven't figured out why it keeps overheating. I don't understand. I have it plugged in. I did all the settings. The battery door is open. Just drama. She's just dramatic.
I get it.
Yeah. So right now we're on the Canon M50. So like I had anticipated there might have been some drama because this is one of her first times out. That was her first time out as a guest. And I was like, you're gonna embarrass me.
Wow.
So I did a quick switcheroo, put the HDMI cable into the OG camera, the
Right, the
Canon M50.
M50 that you've been using for a while.
Yes. It
See,
still looks good.
it
Like I
looks
put them side
great.
by side and I was
To be
like,
to be honest with you, I would not have known if you didn't tell me you switched cameras,
yeah,
which
it's wild, right?
is not what they would say would happen. So what kind of lens do you have? And this is not real stuff. So guys, we got to get to it, but I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we're techies too. What lens did you have on the Sony
So on the
EV10?
Sony, I just have the kit lens, and then
Got it.
I was like, oh, it's fine because I don't have stuff in the background to put out of
The
focus.
bokeh and all that stuff, yeah.
It's just a wall. And then when I did that, and I was like, it looks good. I had the 16 millimeter Sigma that they tell us to get for
Right.
the M50 for the Sony, whatever. And then I put my kit lens back on the M50, which is what's on there right now. And I was like, I didn't have to get this other lens. That's what I'm telling you people. Like, you got to try what comes with the box. It's probably fine.
So
Upgrade when you need to, but like, it's probably fine.
so this is someone talking to you guys that is experienced, all right, making content with cameras, DSLR, mirrorless cameras, the whole nine, and actually using her phone as well to build TikTok videos. And please make note of this, no matter where you are, she is now using kit lenses to come onto the show, and I think she looks great. She
Yeah,
looked
this is
great
the
when
kit
she
lens.
first came in with the EV10 with a kit lens on it. So just be mindful. Now, of course, she did have the caveat of not having background that she needed to blur out. But what a great picture you have and a great setup. And we're sharing this because sometimes we can just go overboard with you got to have this and you got to have that. You need to spend $1,000 on a camera and a lens together. And really, there are other things that you could be using, like all the subscriptions you need to get to be able to do some things that you want to do to look good, not on camera, but actually to produce some of the edits you need and all that other kind of stuff. So that being said, thank you for sharing that.
Of course. And then now that I've got all this new gear, my song right now is Another Day, Another Cable I Need to Buy. That's part of the game. You know this game.
I
You're
do
like
know
another
the
day,
game.
another cable.
I know the game. I know the game. I've got to a point where I have stopped. Okay, so it's just like this is what I have. This is what we're gonna have for a while, and the only way that I would change is that maybe next year I add another piece. But
Yeah.
I'm rocking and rolling until something else changes, and I'm trying to stay away from just getting something in the studio that I don't need. Like I don't have the new Rodecaster Pro 2. I didn't get it. I don't
have it
have it.
on the desk right now. I plugged it in and I don't know how to get it into the computer. This is real. If you're going through it, I'm going through it. Strick's going through it. We're all going through it. So don't ever feel like it's you because you don't understand the tech. It's just part of the game.
Well, somebody told me that some of the Rodecaster Pro, like the first one, that it has extra features. If you actually load the software on your computer, you could do a little more with it. I'm like, huh? Like, I'm not even using that to its full potential. Like, why would I upgrade and spend more money when I have a piece that works, is more than enough? All right, more than enough for my one microphone setup here in the studio.
Yes. Yeah, right now I just plugged my microphone back into the computer directly because I couldn't figure out how to get the Rodecaster into the computer. Like, I plugged it in, I had the app, everything. I'm just like, it's there. I plugged it in. It's there. I was just like, forget it. We're not there today. We're not there
Right.
today. And then look, we're fine. We have a
We are
beautiful
fine.
picture, and I'm very
Sound
much
great.
about like use what you get. You use what you have as long as possible.
And both of us are doing something that people normally don't do in our little circle. There's no microphone in the picture.
I know.
Don't tell anybody we're doing this, okay?
Mhm.
Don't, like, this
It's
is just between me and you. Right.
I like
love
to
it.
have it off. I like to have it off screen because I talk a lot with my hands. I just think it's a cleaner picture. Also, like, I'm not sponsored, so
So,
I don't need to advertise.
and I get it, all of that. I think it's a cleaner picture as well. I think, and I, of course, talk with my hands too. So I'm really, really bad about that. So I've hit the microphone tons of times. I'm still a SM7B boy, but I really like the opportunity of being able to have a cleaner picture, and you can actually see my T-shirt logo.
Yeah, I think it's great.
So Rocky is saying, keeping it simple over here too. Not buying anything new for a few months. Yes. So we're not gonna. So today, of course, we're not pushing anybody to buy anything new. Today, we're talking about how to do Reels, TikToks, and YouTube. So we're gonna take all of the stuff you already have and give you a brand new mindset of how to build an appropriate YouTube short, TikTok video, and Reel from the expert. Like, when I say she's the expert, she's my expert. So if I want to learn how to do something, I'm going down all of her videos to figure it out. That being said, let's lock in. Let's lock in really quick about, let's start with the one that you think the first, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube short, the first thing that you would go after if you were posting today.
If I'm posting today, so because of our community here, like Ecamm Fam, right? Where
Right.
a lot of our stuff lives on YouTube. And there's a new feature that literally came out days ago, which I think is amazing, that makes it really enticing to focus on YouTube Shorts
Got you.
because you're already there. And it's a feature that if you have the iPhone, you have the app on your iPhone, you can make short clips out of whatever your longer videos. And you can make multiple clips up to 60 seconds. You just have to, like, space them so they're vertical. And the tool is really, really good in order to do that. So I tested it yesterday. I did a little tutorial that I'll post up tomorrow, which maybe I posted it on TikTok already. I don't know. I throw everything everywhere. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
That video, which was like an unboxing of the Aura Ring, which was like a longer video that had different chapters. I just was like, okay, let me just take a 60-second clip. I think it ended up being like 55-second clip, and just post that. And from that, I've gotten, since yesterday, it has more views than the original video. It had given me more subscribers. It's given me more engagement. So if that tells you anything, like, they want you to be on shorts, right? So
Okay.
that doesn't mean you can't have the longer form stuff, because people will watch the short and then they subscribe. Now, next time they're like, let me stay for the longer show.
Right. So the short is still connected to the longer show. Is that correct? Is it in the
No,
description
it's
or?
just like another video on there. I don't think
Now, I
that
did
it
hear
has anything that says go back.
eventually that's supposed to happen.
Mhm.
All right.
Hopefully that does, because that would be a great feature.
Yeah, I think that I actually saw, and I just saw it. So it was Nick Nimmons, who has this YouTube news that he's doing now, and that's one of the things that he said YouTube was doing, connecting the two. So basically, it's going to benefit the YouTubers to do shorts, and also those shorts will point back to the original video. But I also like that you could have, like, through the YouTube editor, and you just pull out the 60 seconds, and that's what you're talking about. but sometimes you could do it and it's not the short version, but you can pull out just, a 5-minute clip or a 2-minute clip or a 60-second clip. But do you then edit it in vertical so that it is a short?
So the only thing that I've done with the trimming down in YouTube is with that YouTube Shorts specific editor. So
Got you.
that's, if you guys haven't seen it, I can show you it.
And she's gonna do it. Here it comes.
we
Nothing like
go.
talking about it and displaying it. Let me be sure that I have the right screen here.
Let's see. So I can't go to my vertical because I had
There
to
you
pull
go.
the HDMI cable for that. So let's go. Okay, in your YouTube app, if you are you have to have an iPhone. So at this point. So if you go to, this is like, just one of my videos. Can you focus on this? See, this is where the kit lens maybe is going to give us problems. But if you follow along right here, it says create. And then that's the one that you're going to click on. So you've got here, there's the button that says clip. That's not the one that you want.
That's not the one. That's
in
the one
order
I
to
was
make-
talking about, where you just take out a portion of the long screen. But now you're saying the one next to it says create?
Yes, you go to create. So clip is going to let you have a clip that is like probably the same format as your
Right.
original video.
Right.
So let me go to a different video because that one I was showing you is actually already in vertical.
So Rocky
so
is
this
like,
is
she
a-
saw your Shure mic and is like, okay, I got to get, maybe I need to get that. Only if you need it, Rocky.
So here, if you can see, oh, okay, there.
There
You
you
can
go.
see it a little bit better here. There is one that says, let me get my eyes out of here. It says create.
Got you.
Create, and then it pulls up this different menu on the bottom.
Okay.
And then edit into a short. So then you're the only one who can use that. And then, so that's a landscape video. So you have to kind of like position it, right? Depending on what you want. And then you got to like scroll to the part of the video that you want. So it's limited. It's not like you can take 2 clips and make them into one. Of course, you can do that in your editor. You can do that on your own. But to be able to do that really quickly, and then the fact that I saw such a return in
on the
less
video
than 24 hours.
because you're in app, you're using something that's in app, the editor for short. So there is something that YouTube wants everyone to do. Now, let me say this, Marielou. I'm gonna have to stop for just 1 second. Right now, you've given us, like, it's very trendy. It's right now, like, people could do this while they're watching our show, take one of your videos and clip it right where we're watching it. This is some great information. I have 5 likes right now on the video. I cannot continue, guys, without getting at least 5 more likes. I need 10 likes for us to continue this interview, because otherwise you're telling me we're not giving good information, and I feel completely different to that. I feel like this is like cutting edge stuff that we're giving, and I have 5 likes. So if you're watching us today, I need you to like this video, and then we'll move on. Keely asks, is this a brand new YouTube feature or just in the process of rolling out? Like what I was talking about is probably in the process. I think people are getting it as it is being rolled out, where the two are connected. But what Marielou showed you is actually something that anybody could do. Okay, I'm up to 9. I need that. Say that one more time.
iOS only. Just iOS only. That's as far as I know.
There you go. There you go. All right. And love that YouTube is doing this. Yes, it is really cool. YouTube is very smart about making sure, and we have 10 likes, Marielou. I feel like we can move on. I feel like I can go on a little further. So YouTube is doing a really good job of trying to stay ahead of the game, because TikTok is like nipping at their everybody's heels. TikTok made Facebook turn Instagram into TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Am I telling, like, that's what I feel has just happened?
Yeah, it's the truth. Like they definitely put pressure on the industry in a good way. In a good way, because it was going to go that way. Like I'll tell you, I think it was like 2016, maybe 2015, I had started a show that was called 55 Seconds with Marielou Mandl, because sometimes a minute is just too much. And I would just have some topic and I would just, and 55 seconds was the max. And, that was in landscape. It was on YouTube. Like, you may still be able to find those somewhere, but there, that was at that point, I was like, yes, this is going to happen. But YouTube and a lot of the platforms were still like, no, we want you to go for 8 minutes so we can put ads on your
Gotcha.
on your thing. So, like that kind of died down for me, but TikTok comes along and they're like, listen, short form is where it's at. And then Instagram's like, yeah, okay. Because Instagram remember they had IGTV where you could
Right.
do like, it
Long
was like
form.
up to 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
in vertical, which I was like supportive of, but also too long, right? People aren't watching on their phones for that long. You might watch for an hour, but you're going to watch 100 videos.
Right.
You're not going to watch one person on your phone. It's just like, you need the interaction. They need to be able to swipe. They need to be able to touch it and like comment and look at things and interact. Where when you're on your computer and you're like, or you're watching your TV or things like that, you'll sit and watch something for longer, but you need to be a little more invested. There's a reason you're there. Either you like the creator or you're looking for something specific. Where the short form, you're just like consuming to consume. You're just like snacks. Let's eat them all.
Right. So let me do this. So definitely big shouts out. He's saying hello to you. Doc Rock is hanging out with us
Hey,
today.
Doc.
Doc, thank you for coming through. And Paul is always on it. I think we can get 20. He's talking about the likes with a very little effort. So just click that thumbs up button. I think right now we're at 16. I need a little more. And Rocky is saying hello to Doc as well. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. If you're not tuning into this, like normally shows are about an hour, 60 minutes. So we have a lot to talk about, and we've been kind of going back and forth on some things. What Marielou is talking about, now we're talking about how things have changed, and she's already shared a big tip for you. If you are a YouTuber, you should have already kind of like put our show to the side, pulled up your phone, and created a short already. You should have already done that so you can test it. Now, she said when she did it, the numbers were really high because she's doing something in-app, and it's also something that the platform wants you to do, which is producing shorts. Now with TikTok, like, I'm sorry, my experience with TikTok hasn't been the best.
Yeah, and I will say that it's similar for a lot of people because they're all the same, but they're different, right? So not all platforms want the same kind of thing. And for those of us that come from, our like full production, like pretty lights and nice cameras and microphones world, it's really a little hard. There is some resistance for us going into that world. And then, being just like torn to bits by people who are holding their phone sideways, like, you
Right.
can't even see their full face. So just know that you're not alone with that, and it is something different. So when I was working with Ecamm for their TikTok, right, we came up with a couple of different strategies, and we tried some stuff shot in Ecamm vertically, and it looks beautiful, and that does good in its own way. And some things are trends, some things are only shot on the phone. We tried a bunch of different things to kind of see what works. And if you're curious, like, all of those videos are still up there. You can go to the Ecamm TikTok, and you totally should, because like we had a lot of fun making all of those videos.
Marielou, I watched them all. Yes, ma'am. I've consumed them all. I thought it was great. I was like, why not combine the two? I love TikTok. I love Marielou, and I love Ecamm. Why not have both at the same time?
Yeah, and that's like, you'll be able to see, like, you can look at the numbers and see like a trend does a certain amount, or a talking video does a different kind of thing. And there's like trends in there. So if you can kind of study that, I feel like it's a good place for the folks that want to make videos the way we want to kind of witness. So when I'm doing a tutorial, I will shoot it nice and I'll shoot it beautifully, because I know that there's like, I need the multicam in order
Right.
to show what I need to show, but there's
Right.
a reason for it.
And that's in
So
Ecamm when you're doing the tutorial, so you can have the show your phone, do a display, and also have your face on as well.
Yes. And it's like, it's my favorite. I record as much as possible in Ecamm as I can. But sometimes you just got to do something on the phone. This, like, the video that I think I have that's the highest views on TikTok of all time is like a green screen that I did. I literally filmed my TV when there was an Apple announcement, and then I green screened myself using the app, just pointing at it like, what is happening? I didn't say anything. I had the voice to text kind of like make some commentary. And it, like, that was months ago, and I get comments on it all the time.
Wow. So can you
It,
explain to me what you think was working there with that?
I think it's a trending topic. It's
I was
something
thinking
that,
that.
Apple users and people who like, because it was polarizing, like people who like Apple were like really excited about it, and then other people who don't like Apple were like, that kind of technology's been around forever. I'm like, can we just be excited? Like, are we allowed to be excited about things? Like,
Right. So
if you
so
don't
let me
care, you
ask you
don't
this
care.
question. So you mentioned that, and I haven't did like what we call the remix, or that will be called a remix video, right? No, you actually did a screenshot of your television. So you kind of did a
Hmm.
remix, but you didn't take the content. You actually
Yeah.
created the content from your television. But
Hmm.
people may not know, Mary Lou, how to do the green screen, like how to put
Yeah.
yourself in front of current video. Can you explain that process since we are
Yes.
up to, okay, well, we'll explain that process when we get 2 more people to like it and we're at 20 likes. Then we'll teach you how to do the green screen stuff. In the meantime,
Yes.
we have people in the comments that are really, really liking these tips, appreciate these awesome tips. I appreciate them as well, but I still need 2 more likes to get to 20 because Paul said that he thought that we can get to 20 very easily. So we need 20 more likes. So this is the part of the live experience that people would normally just skip through, Mary Lou.
Oh, wow.
But you have to do it in order to, engage your audience and make sure people are, in the process with you. Now, that being said, if you have a question, all right. So I had a question. We're going to talk about the green screen thing in just a second. But if you have a question, Paul is explaining it to everybody. Please put your Q and the colon in front of your question. And we're going to get to those questions today because, of course, you may be at a point where I'm going one direction, but you need to know this particular thing for you to go to the next direction in your content creation. So now that I have 20 likes, Mary Lou, green screen, can you explain how that works?
Right. So in TikTok, I think that's the best way to utilize that feature. Instagram has it as well, but it's a little bit wonkier. I feel like it's not reliable. But the one on
Okay.
TikTok is very, very good. And if you can't find an effect, you need to find it and then like put it in your favorites, which is something I can show you. But so what the green screen does, you don't have to have an actual green screen. You don't need to have a physical green screen. You can do this in front of anything. And you can take an image or a video. I do screenshots. I do videos that I take in real life, all sorts of things. And then you green screen it. So that's playing. And then when you point the phone at you, you show up in front of it. And then you can make your commentary however you want to do. And I
Well, let me
think
ask you this question.
green
You're
screen,
saying that you're calling it green screen, but you don't need a green screen behind you. The phone inside of that particular app or effect automatically takes
mhm,
the background out for you.
yes. So
Gotcha.
let's see if I can show you here. Let's see. Let's see if we can be effective. So you guys have watched my content, like I can pull
Yes.
to the top and then like something comes down, but this new gear is stressing me out. But okay, so in TikTok here, let's see if we can get you to see me. This is the camera we're working with right now.
Right.
But in the bottom is effects right here.
Right.
And what you're going to look for is, so this is the green screen with the picture, and then this one is the green screen with the video. So it's got a little play button. So either one of those, depending on what you're doing. So I'm going to take a picture of you on my
Yes.
computer here. I'm going to take a picture. Yes. Okay. So now that's going to end up being my background. So I'm going to go into effects. I'm going to press this picture button. And then I'm going to select your face. And then, so that's the picture that we just took.
Right.
Now, if I flip my camera around, it should show me.
There you
See,
go.
we don't have a green screen. That's just the wall, the lights, and it's pretty good. It does a really good job. So then you can make your commentaries, and it's much easier when you're facing yourself and you can see it. But you can have it be a video, or you can have it be a picture, and that is a really popular way to showcase something,
I like
right? Whatever
that.
it is, like your commentary. If
Marielou, I'm
there's a
doing that
new
today. I'm doing it today. I promise
okay.
you. I did not know how to do it. I was thinking I needed a green screen as well. I see everybody doing it, and I just couldn't figure it out. I've
Yeah, it's
already learned
so
something.
easy. And if you so say you're in your TikTok app and you don't see that effect right away. So trending, it's probably in trending because it's usually one of the most popular ones. But
Okay.
there is a search function in there, and then you can type that in and type in green screen.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to go in my TikTok, and as soon as you do it, you have all these things coming up. So now I'm there. Okay, I'm in effects and
Right? So you can go to
trending.
search the
I
little
see it. I see it.
yeah, and then that's what you can pick. So what what you did with say we're having our conversation here and there's like something really important that we talked about that you thought was really great, right? You can pull your little like 30-second, 15-second clip from this, load it in there, and then you can pop in and all you got to do is
It's
like
just point.
point at it
It's like,
because it's eye-catching.
why
It's like,
can't I
whoa,
point the
look at
right
this thing that
direction
happened.
anyways?
Yeah, like basically what you're doing right now with my face in the background, but you're actually physically there.
Right, right. I love it. I love it. We're going to make this work. I will do that. So, guys, as we're here in the Ecamm Network's YouTube channel, like the idea is we're helping content creators build content. She's already given us a wealth of information. This is the next point. So if you're seeing content creators get traction, this is one of the ways that they are getting traction in what they call is this remix videos or a green screen video? Basically, you're taking other people's content, and she said she wouldn't say anything, just pointing at the screen, and it worked.
Yeah, and if you have commentary, like make commentary. So say like we've got Dina who does her recipes, right? So she needs to talk about what's the recipe of the week. She could do a screenshot of the back of the recipe, like, okay, this week we're going to be making ratatouille. So you're going to need to get an eggplant. You're going to need to get this, this, and this. And then that's the video. So see you guys on Saturday for the stream. Like, so there's ways you can make the promos.
It makes it easier as you're doing promos to not have to do all of the graphics and all of the whole editing thing that we have gone through in the past to be able to display stuff.
Yes,
basically you put it behind you and then you record on top of it talking about what you see, and it should cut the recording time and editing time way down, right?
Yes. So just think about with these shorts, it's more about how much can you get out? How often can you get it out? How quick can you get it out? You get a timer. Like I just got a new timer. I think it's in the kitchen, but it's like just a little circle timer that I'm like, we got 5 minutes to work on this. That's the max that it can have. And then I'm out of here. Where if it's the one that's like a little bit more of a specific tutorial that I want to do, like I did this tutorial on doing gift stickers, and I knew that was more involved, but that's for me. And this is something I tell everyone is that if you're going to do all of this, you're going to do this, you're going to do the mic, you're going to do the lights, you're going to do the graphics. That's for you. That is not for the audience. That's because we want to do it, because they don't need that. We could do this whole stream on our MacBooks, cameras, with the audio from the headphones, and they would be watching it just the same. We could have done this on an Instagram Live.
We could have used our phones to as cameras and microphones and been through, and people would have got the content and understood.
Yep, no graphics, none of this. So just like it's nice. And it's like I enjoy it and I understand why we do it. Like I love to do it. And it's eye-catching. So there is a purpose for it. And I think that's a reason why, like, if we get into like affiliate world, my tutorials are for people who are using their phones, but then they see my tutorials and they're like, wait, how is she showing her face in this and that and that? then they go down the road to look at some of this other stuff because that's something they want to do for themselves. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get more views. It just means you're going to have more impact, a different kind of impact on the views that you do get.
I love it. I love it. So we went from talking about how to clip out YouTube Shorts and actually in-app use it on your phone and actually do it. Then we went to TikToks doing green screens. So now let's go to something that's trending maybe on Reels on Instagram, because now Instagram is TikTok, but it has its own type of personality and characteristic that really, really shines. So what would you say if I'm doing something for Instagram, and I know you kind of put your stuff all over the place, what would be a slight difference than Instagram and TikTok for you?
So I will say that for Instagram, because that's the one that I've been on the longest and the most active on the longest, I'll throw anything up there.
Gotcha.
And it's more like personality based. So I know that people love to see my cats. I know that people love to see me and Will dancing around being
Yes.
goofy.
Yes.
You
Check
know,
mark
like
there.
that's the stuff that I know people already like. So I might put that there, but I'm not going to put that in my YouTube Shorts because my YouTube is a library of information.
Gotcha.
Where my Instagram, because like it gets buried in the feed, I'll just kind of throw whatever out there. People see it, great. If they don't see it, okay. You know, I don't really get too personal about it once I started to tell myself, like, you can't work on it longer than a certain amount of time, because what will happen is like, you made this beautiful, beautiful promo. And I don't know how long that took you to make, but you told me when we first got on the call, like it didn't get a lot of traction.
Well, no,
And
it got decent traction for what it was for. I just know that Reels is not the place to advertise an event. I just got caught up in, wanting to do some promo, and it was
why
more
not?
about, so I thought it did really well. And I did 2 different versions. I really got into it. I kind of geeked out on it a little bit. And then I thought, man, this is really cool. I got to do some more of these. But I also know that, I try everything, to be honest with you. I'm at a place where I really go after trying everything to see what happens, because I don't know all of this. I know that some of my biggest videos was, hey, I'm here with so-and-so. Look, it's me and him, and we're here. And that was the video. And it would get like in an hour or two, 6,000 views. And I'm not doing anything but saying, hey, I was at a conference and ran into, some of my people that I like. And that has getting the most.
It's like, we've been, those of us that have been consuming media for, however ever long, right? The kids, they've been in this for a minute, but it's been their whole lives. We remember like commercials, even though they're still out there. But like, if you're mostly digital online, you're not seeing them the same way that you used to with like cable TV.
Right.
People don't want that. So as soon as you see something that is well produced on Instagram and TikTok, you're like, it's an ad. And then it's gone.
Right.
And then it doesn't like show it to people. But if it's someone on their phone, and that's where you'll start to see a lot of ads. That's what this it's called UGC. It's user generated content, where they are paying people. Like I work that way sometimes as well. Like they'll pay me, they'll send me a product, and I have to shoot it on my phone.
Gotcha.
Because it needs to look
like it's user generated.
Whatever. Yeah.
So let me say this. I've seen people trick the system. All right. So there's a trending, I know I've seen this on TikTok, where there's a guy that he starts out with his phone, shaking, walking through the house, but it is a real car insurance video. Like, let me show you, I bought this car and I bought this car. And you know what? They were going to get me for $700 for car insurance. And he shows the car, but I got a great deal. And it goes into like a commercial. Like, that's like some of the things that we could be thinking about to kind of manipulate the system a little bit. Start with your phone. Like if you were, starting out the video, like the first couple of seconds, and then if you want it to be a little professional, make it professional.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I've seen a lot of people, like brands, do mix like exactly that, where it'll start with somebody holding their phone, talking to the phone. You could even use your nice camera and hold it as if you're holding your phone. It'll look a little nicer,
Right.
but like it'll still feel like the phone.
Right. That's a good idea. So I have decided a long time ago, because I stream so often, that I'm not touching the streaming camera.
I'm the
So
same way.
I'm not, like, I don't
I'm not
want to take the
plugging
cords
anything.
out. I don't want to touch it at all. But I do have another camera that's really good that I could probably do that same thing with. Just put it in my hand, and I have super long arms, so I can reach to the next room if I need to, and
I
do a
still
camera
have
shot like that.
I have like an old, this is like the G7X, when like all of us were getting into vlogging,
Uh-huh.
right? It's got the little screen. So even though it's like meant to be like this, like I would shoot this, I shoot in vertical with this all the time. I like love it. And then you
Wow.
send it to your phone and edit it, or edit on your computer, whatever you want to do, but it doesn't even have to be the newest, but the phone footage is very good. It's just like if you want it to look a little
Well,
different, right? And
if you
people
have
are
a
like, what is
13,
that?
if you have a 13 and you have great light outside, I'm sorry, it's going to be hard to tell what you've shot that on. So that being
Mhm.
said, Miguel here is like, this community is so valuable, and you're so right about this. I am at all of the talent that we have inside of this community. People know about Ecamm and our community leader Rock and all the things that Katie's doing, and then you got Anna and Fulgens, and then you have um, Marshall Fox and his show, and then you have somebody like my man, Mr. Riley's Worlds from the West Side, and he's saying hello to us. There's so many people that are inside of this community, even people like Will that doesn't mind dancing with his girl, which is Marielou. So it is so very cool to have people inside of the community that really makes the difference. And I need to know that this show, with all of the information, because I've got so many things I can cut out to actually do a short with for this video, but I'm only sitting at 22 likes. So apparently you guys don't like as much as she's giving out as I do. Like, we need to figure this out. That being said, I also use as much of Instagram's effects as I can. Is that something that
Mhm.
helps at all? Whether it's sound effects, whether it is the captions inside of the app, and of course, music inside of the app. So if I need to go to Canva and make the video, I make it without music, and then go to TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and use in-app music to make the difference.
Yeah, that is a strategy, and I think that's totally fine to do. There's an app that I like to use, and I don't live by this one, but it's called Trend Talk. I think it's like $20 for a year subscription, and it gives you like what's trending or what it predicts to trend in worldwide or in the US. And then I just kind of go through there and look for music that might work. If it doesn't work with the video, I don't bother. But if there's like
Gotcha.
something that happens to be like in the top 20 of what they think is going to trend, why not? Right? It's like a simple, possibly going to help you out little like tip. And currently, Instagram, I feel like, is 6 to 8 weeks behind TikTok.
As far as the music trends,
Mhm.
okay. So we want to know, like, we can actually use trends from TikTok once we find those, and actually use
Mhm.
them on Instagram and be ahead of the curve.
Yes, but then that's like a slippery slope because you might be too far
Too
ahead of the
far ahead.
curve, right? So it's kind of good to like make it, hold it. And that's where what you're doing, where you're making your content without the music. You might use a trending song on TikTok and use a different trending song on Instagram because it's easy.
I like that. So can you give that again? And Paul, could you put this in the comments for me? It's called
Yeah,
Trend.
I'll type it in there. Trend
Gotcha.
Talk. Yeah. See if we can get us an app for it. Trend Talk Analytics. And I used it. Like I said, I don't live by it, but I do use
Use
it
it.
to give me a little hint from time to time.
So again, guys, she's giving us these small tools, and if you're not writing all of this stuff down, you're doing yourself a disservice. service because Mary Lou is doing very well with her short form content. All right. But she's telling you, hey, these are some of the secrets. You're not just making a short and just throwing it up there. Like there has to be a strategy to it, and you have to kind of stick to it. Like I have 5 songs that I go over and over again. Like that kind of work for me. And those 5 songs, I need to drop one because the last couple of videos, it didn't trend as well. I look at how many videos that particular song was used on, and I tried to use the song with the most video counts. But could I
Mhm.
be behind the curve with that, or is that something still, that we can stick to by saying how many users use that particular song?
Yes and no, because if too many people are using it, you might drown, right, and not be seen. Uh, that's where it's like I really go content first. Like I just want the video to be good. If I can throw a trending song on it, like I personally am not analyzing it that hard
Got you.
because you need to be it's more volume, right? So like we want it to be like quality over quantity, and that's like totally a way to go. But that's where like I have my YouTube show for that, right? So like they all kind of serve a different purpose. Instagram is like my behind the scenes look into my life. Here's just like fun stuff. You're hanging out with me. This is my cats. We're sitting on the patio looking at the jalapenos, right? Whatever. And then TikTok is like my testing grounds for things where,
Okay.
I make different types of short form. I'll do it with the nice cameras. I'll do it with the phone. I'll do it with, a couple of different, if something pops on TikTok, then I'll put it on my YouTube shorts. And then the YouTube shorts also is the shorter mini versions of the longer videos in hopes that they'll be like, oh, I like this. I want more. And then I'll go back for more.
Okay. We just have to let that marinate. I mean, she's
They
giving you the
all can
game
serve a different
plan.
purpose.
They all had different purpose, but I wouldn't have thought that TikTok would be like the let me throw everything up here and see what sticks, and if it sticks, I
Yeah.
go to YouTube with it. That's a great way to
Mhm.
do it. And of course, I watch most of your content from Instagram is where I watch it because I'm
Mhm.
engaged with not just your content, but I'm also engaged with your personality and the cats
Mhm.
and you and Will dancing and all the other stuff that comes along with it. So let me say this really, really quick. Paul, thank you so very much for putting the link in for Trend Talk, and you guys can check that out. And so we'll say we could also create the Strick and Mary Lou a trend. Well, I guess you can create the trend. We got to figure out what trend that will be. I'm just right now, I'm just on the coattails trying to get all of this information out for you guys. And I have a business account and can't use trending music. Did you know about that?
That is
360
fact.
here? You
Yes,
can't
and
use.
you think about you can't use it. You can't use the trending music if you have a business account. And you think about this like, say you have, like someone takes our voice off of this stream and uses
Right,
it as a trending sound on TikTok. So if it's just users, other creators, sure, okay. But like say AT&T comes in and uses our sounds and we did not get paid for it. Now
right.
it's a problem. So
Because it's a
that's why the business
business.
account. Mhm. 'Cause they're
Right,
gonna make money off of it, and
right.
that's we're not gonna see a piece.
So and I have a creator account, so I don't see that. I wouldn't know it, and I totally get
Mhm.
it. And creators can actually pull stuff because that's part of the industry. But what happens when creators start to take other creators' stuff and not citing that, hey, this is where you see who the person is. So it's a
Yeah.
better way of doing it because what happens in the
Mhm.
past, they would just take it and not get any credit to a creator. So now with the remixing, if I'm pointing over my
Mhm.
shoulder and there she is, I'm saying there she is doing it, even though I'm in the, everybody will get something from that.
Right, and that gets into, like, creator ethics and just you as a person, like, knowing what's right because it's being a content creator, being an influencer is still a new industry,
Right.
it's been around for a couple years. Like there's people who've like really, really succeeded with it, but it is still new and the FTC guidelines are always changing. And it's your responsibility to protect yourself. So if you're ever doing like a sponsored video, so even if you have access to the trending songs, if it's a sponsored video, I will not touch trending music. I will not touch pop top 40. I will just use stuff that I know for sure is royalty free, because I got to protect myself. And then it protects, the brand
The
that you're working with.
business.
And I've definitely had brands who are like, well, you need to use a trending song. And I was like, I'll give it to you blank.
You
And
use a trending sound.
that's on you, because like I have to cover myself, because like lawsuits are happening. Like you will see it. It is happening out there where
Wow.
people are getting in trouble, and then you are liable as a creator if like that was your deliverable.
So, my wife is a musician, jazz
Mhm.
flutist, and knowing the creator side for people with music, it is a really big deal right now because they're trying to
Mhm.
find new ways to get monetized. And one of the
Mhm.
new ways to get monetized, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't care if it's 15 seconds, a minute, or what. I think something has to go back to that creator, and
Mhm.
that may be another way that they could actually bring some revenue back. I don't know how, but it should be. Like, I don't know what
Mhm.
15 seconds of a song, or even if the social media platforms have a loophole to where if it's
Mhm.
so many seconds of a song, they don't have to pay but so much. But they're having a tough time with streaming because people on TikTok listening all day long. I mean, what do you think? Even with
Yeah.
Beyonce, when her song hit, what do you think people listen to her song at? They listen
Mhm.
to it on Instagram and TikTok from everybody doing videos about it.
Yeah. And so there's like the double-edged sword of that, where if you for exposure, like it's really great because like you can get get ears on your music like just
Instantly.
exponentially,
Right.
right? So if you're like established, right? Like if you're like Beyonce and like people are gonna hear it and now they're like, I gotta download the album, I gotta get the t-shirt, I gotta, go to the concert because like I can't get this song out of my head, right? So that's like the new radio play.
Right.
Where, if you're a newer artist, right, it is good that you get seen on it. But that's where it's like when creators are using it, like I'm like, okay, that's fine. I like that would be fine. Like if a creator had my like use my voice for a trending sound or whatever, great, cool, but when it's like being used in commercials, being used by brands, and
Right.
even when like I've had sometimes like people download my video and post it on their own page, and like that I'm not okay with. Duet it, sure, but like
Right.
don't download it and upload it as your own, because I put work into that and I wouldn't do that to somebody else.
Right.
So,
That's part of the
when you get
ethics
into
that
creator
we
ethics.
need to be
Mhm.
aware of. Don't just download it and upload it and not even give credit, or I mean, why not?
Mhm.
We have ways to duet it now, so just use that platform and everybody is good.
Yeah.
There's a question. Miguel has a question here. I just started making shorts. I've grabbed songs based on my target demo. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, I think that's a great idea, because if it's a demographic that loves Fleetwood Mac and you're using Fleetwood Mac like songs, like that's great, because even that stuff can still be trending with the like general populace, but you're focusing on your target demographic because you are content first, audience first, not trend first, right? It's it's about what you're here to give, what you're here to do as an artist, and to do it a lot. Like just do it as much as possible. My thing is like create, release, repeat. I'm just like, go
You said that
release
so
them.
fast. Create, release, repeat. I got it.
That's right.
And that
Create,
stops you
release,
from
repeat.
getting caught into trying to make this great edit and everything. I
Mhm.
guarantee you, I spent on the reel that I did that was all produced and edited and all this kind of stuff a good morning, like
Mhm.
3 hours of my morning, which is my most creative period. Like I couldn't do anything else for the rest of the day because all of my creative juices went into that. And if you're gonna
Mhm.
do that kind of thing, make it something that could be impactful, or figure out ways that if it's going to be one, the next day do multiples, so
Mhm.
you can kind of put more out and see what sticks.
And here's a tip if you're gonna be making your short form video. So like, sure, you took your time to do it, then that's a-okay, right? I do that sometimes where I'm like, nope, this is important to me. I'm gonna make this really nice. I'm gonna spend a couple hours doing this. Is to always keep it under, I'd say 55 seconds, even though 60, but right,
Uh-huh.
like 55 seconds just to be safe, because that will fit everywhere. Fits on
Right.
YouTube Shorts, fits on TikTok, even though like the different ones, like you can go up to 10 minutes or you can go up to 8 or whatever. If you just keep it under 60 for those, then you can post it everywhere, including Facebook Reels and Pinterest.
Oh, we
Thank you
got to
for
talk
putting up with
about
my camera. It's
Pinterest.
like trusting me.
Yeah, it's okay. We got to talk about Pinterest because that is like, I think that's the future.
hmm
And it is going right now, but I even having a hard time figuring out where to go. But I'll come back to that because I need 2 more people to actually click the like button for me to know where we're doing. All right, if you're really getting this information from us today. So let me explain, like you guys haven't seen it, but if you're not on DJ Strick on Instagram, you may miss some of my reels. I do have reels inside of the Ecamm community. I put that same reel, actually is the second version of that reel in the Ecamm community. So you can search there. You can find me on Facebook at DJ Strick. You can find me on Instagram is actually Strick City, so I need to change that. I had a business named Strick City, but now I'm doing so much branding around DJ Strick. I have to go back to just using that so people can find me. That being said, I was gonna have the wonderful Marielou coming to my show, and I wanted to be sure that I did all I could to advertise it, to do just a little more of getting the information out. Normally, I would just take my phone out and say, hey guys, I got so-and-so coming on the show. You don't want to miss this, and I'll put the captions of the words and put a song and just put it up. But for whatever reason, I was so inspired by my guests, I put a little bit more work into it. But I do think it had the eyes. People that wanted to see it or needed to see it did get a chance to see it.
hmm
And more importantly, it is a now calling card for me to say, hey, I can produce reels like this.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot of what I do on any of my content is to showcase what I can do, right? So it's your portfolio. If you can produce well, then you produce well because you can and you enjoy it and it's fun. And like us as a community, like if we say like all of us in the Ecamm fam only did the high quality reels, like we would be so happy just loving each other's reels all day
Right.
long, right? So your community is, your fans are where they are. You don't have to appeal to everyone, right? So if you're like, I must always do these super high quality ones. Okay. Like there's definitely people who enjoy that as well. The general populace, when they're scrolling through it at this moment, maybe not going to be interested in it. But that's just at this moment. That's just the vibe of right now with these things.
Can I say this? Can I add this to
Mhm.
it? That format, what I was really going at when I started it, was more of an audiogram format. So I was
Mhm.
actually narrating it, and I was never on the screen at all. And I used the radio waves and all that kind of stuff. Do you see a future for audiograms and short form content?
I think that more of the video clips of the audiogram are better. So like people who are doing a podcast, like I always suggest that they just film it at the same time, right? And just take that clip just because seeing something moving is eye catching. Like
Gotcha.
even you did, like you'd voice over, but you had videos that were
And
flying over
videos.
and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So like I think that's totally fine as well. But I'm not like an audio first world. Like that's not my
We're all
neighborhood.
video first world, right?
We're video first people, right? So like I like to see a visual. But I know that, folks that I know that are in the audiobook world, voiceover world, podcast world, like audio podcast strictly, that they do that. I see them. I'm never like, ew, why are they doing that? I'm just like,
Right.
okay, cool. They posted something. I'm just glad that they posted something.
'Cause I think it works. I think it has a place.
Mhm,
And the reason why I did that is because I do have another project that I'm working on, and it will
mhm,
be more audiogram projects, not video, but they're going to do a podcast or some newsletters
mhm,
that I'm gonna repurpose in an audiogram standpoint. So I was, working a little project, but I'll also use this show to kind of like say, okay, let me see if I can produce one of these. And then I
mhm.
figured out with Canva, they have it's called mobile video.
Oh,
So if you
mhm,
go on to templates and you go to the mobile video template, it's all there for you. So I actually did it in just video, or I did it in stories. This is the problem that I had because I didn't figure this out till later. So now I'm giving something to everybody. I did it in stories first and had multiple pages. But when you do it that way, it didn't have any transitions. So the transitions was all just going from one slide to the next. So then when I converted it to mobile video, which I didn't know it even was an option, now I was able to put transitions in there, and I could, time out the transition, like how fast or how slow I wanted the transitions. And it gives you maybe, I'm going to say about 6 different options for transitions. But I think those transitions just helped a little more to make it a little bit better polished from a polishing standpoint. It all dissolved and went from each slide as a dissolve, and it just looked cool. So those are things that, if you're building at Canva and could really help. Now, I'm talking about Canva, but of course, you're the CapCut girl. So let me do this really quick. Hank is saying that I guess I need to get a TikTok now. So Hank, yes, sir, you might start dancing on TikTok after listening to this one tonight.
And just like TikTok is still so new, right? Like it is what it is right now. But you think about like that came out in like 2018, I think, is when it like went from Musical.ly into what it is now is TikTok.
Right.
And so it's only a couple years old. What was YouTube when it was a couple of years old, right?
Then it started off
Something
as
different.
a music platform. I heard the background to how they started YouTube, and it actually started off as a way to display the Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake video online. Did you know that?
Oh, is it?
That's how it started. Like they wanted to
That's
be able to
scandalous.
display that online. So they actually started YouTube off of that. You want to research this? I saw it online somewhere. I was like intrigued. Like, are you for real? These guys just put up the whole platform from YouTube to display that one scene over and over again, and it exploded into what it is today.
Oh, justice for Janet. If that's what it is, that feels terrible.
Right. That's what she said. She's the only person. Like she took. Doc said nope. It was a dating app, so he's correcting me. But I did see that these guys, somewhere, there's so much content out there. They're aliens walking around right now. If you watch YouTube all day, you can find that one too. But they were saying how it actually got started. But now Doc is saying nope. It was a dating app. Yeah, DJ is correct. I just checked it out. They're dropping a golden nugget. So, okay, so he's talking about the Canva YouTube mobile video. So you guys can check all of that out as well. So there you go. There you go.
I love Canva for that. And so say like you've got your videos that are landscape, if you're wanting to repurpose stuff, like you can make yourself a frame. I've done that before. That's in vertical, and then you pop in your video and it is the size that it is, but it's still exports vertical, and you can put your little logos on the top, and you can even use a moving background like you've got here on the stream show.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do.
So the other thing that I saw that I may be making a mistake with, like a lot of times when we make posts, we have all these long posts explaining what's going on. When you do that with a short or a reel, sometimes it gets in the way of the bottom half of the screen. Do you have any strategy around like the captions for your videos?
Yeah, I like to physically put my captions in and put them at the top. Like if I'm doing like subtitles, right? But for the captions when you're uploading, I usually keep it pretty short. I just keep it short, or you keep in mind that the bottom part of your screen is off limits.
Gotcha.
So like this tutorial that I just put up, which was how to make a gift sticker. When I made it, I was like, I just did a screen record instead of showing the phone. So at the bottom, there's some buttons that I knew were going to get covered if I left like a caption. So I just didn't put a caption.
Gotcha. And that's smart. As you do this, of course, you'll know for each platform, TikTok has stuff on the side. All of them have something on the side. You just know you can't go to, is that the right side or the left side of the screen?
I think you can switch it to either side depending on who you are.
Time out now. You mean you can switch like whether the hearts and all the other kind of stuff on each side, or which side of the screen that's on?
Maybe not the hearts. I think I'm in Instagram. You can switch when you're in your editor. from right to left side, not necessarily the stuff that everybody sees.
Gotcha. I like that. So, we're learning here today. So, is there
Yeah.
one thing that you say, hey, I do this on all of my videos, and I think that it really makes the difference?
Make them as short as possible. No lull at the beginning, no lull at the end. Just as tight as you can, even if you end up cutting up your words, whatever. Just make them short and put them out there as much as possible. And try everything. Just try everything, because there is no one way that anything can work. And if you go down the rabbit hole, and like I used to do this, I've gotten much, much better about it, but I know as creators, it's hard for us not to go down the rabbit hole and look at other people who've made it. And you're like, why is what they're doing that, but I do that and it doesn't work? Or what I'm doing is like better in some kind of way. Why am I not more popular, more monetized, more this, that, whatever? It's not worth it. It's not worth it, because what they're doing is something different. What the appeal of them is something different. Your appeal is something different. So as long as you just keep pushing things out, you create, you release, you repeat, your content first, you're about the audience first, then you'll save your sanity, right? This is a long game, right? We were talking about that before the show started. It's not
Right.
like you do it for a month and then you're like, now I'm famous. Some people that can work, right? But I've not seen it happen with anybody that I'm close to. So I don't know how that happens, right? But if you focus on the art that you want to create, because this is what social media is, YouTube content creation is a place for us, like, because we're all artists. That's what
Right.
we are,
Right.
So like we're video people, we're tech people, we're this, that, but we're artists. And this is a place for us to put out our art for free and be seen by who we're seen by. And everybody's done everything. Somebody has to be the first to do something all the time. So if you're doing something different, like, than what everybody else is doing, then embrace that and just do it. Just do it.
And you never
Because
know
maybe that's what it's
if it goes viral or anything like that. You never know if you're putting out content and one day Justin Brown just comes and say, hey, Ecamm Fam. You just never know if that will happen or not. So Justin, thanks for coming by. This has been like the last time you were on, we did a panel type of show, and I wanted to engage with you so much, but there was so many other people on the show, I couldn't do it. So when you said you would come back, I had to take this opportunity, and we've learned so much today. So thank you so very much for coming to the show. If people want to connect with you in what you're doing, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, can you point them to the right direction for the content you're making on each platform?
Yeah, and I'm very fortunate I have a unique name. So I'm at Marielou Mandl everywhere on the internet. I'm so grateful for that, because it's easy to find me. If you just want to see like day to day what's going on, or like little behind the scenes clips of things, then Instagram is the place to connect with me,
That's
because
me.
that's where we're just having a good time, right? Like it's just a personality. It's just like where we're hanging out, right? That's the club where we just see each other. And then YouTube is the library. So if you really want tutorials, you really want information, like ask me a question on a video, like I'll make the tutorial, right? I will set it up and I'll be like, okay, this is what I know, right? And I'm not an expert. I just know what I know and I do the best that I can. And things change because I don't have control over the platforms, but when they change, I'll change the video. I'll make a new video. And if you're on TikTok, engage with me on TikTok, but just know like that's like very experimental. That's just let me see what will click, right? And what my current approach on TikTok is with like tech products, trying to establish as a tech account, because when I go and look at other tech accounts, there's nobody who looks like me.
There you go.
And I would like to see more of that, because as a female creative and as a female filmmaker, which is how it got into female content creator, so many times in my life where like I've come across other females who like see me and they're like, oh, I didn't know that I could use high tech stuff.
Right.
Well, I was like, of course they could. There was nothing stopping them, but they didn't see themselves in it. So they didn't know they can create content. So they see themselves and then they can do it. They didn't know they can make videos, but now they see like, oh, someone who's like me or someone I relate to or someone I feel like I would be friends with also talks about this. Then I feel like I can do it too. There's a place for you. There's a place for everyone. There's an audience for everyone. So please create, release, repeat. Make your content.
If you guys don't know, Marielou Mandl is part of the Cool Kids Club. Like, there's no doubt about it. Please connect with her on whatever platform that you think is right. If you need the tutorials, go to YouTube. If you're like me and you like the personality she brings, I'm on Instagram following her, looking at her stories every time she posts something, and I learned something. More importantly, the video you did with the shirt where you threw the shirt on the ground and it was you and it was the loop, that hooked me, okay? Like, you guys got to search for that particular video. It was a trend at one time where you throw the shirt down. I still don't know how to do that, but I love the fact that you led into doing that trend, and it got me hooked on your content. So there you go.
And I think I've told you like 3 times I'm going to make that tutorial, and I haven't yet. And I promise you, I will make it. It's very easy. It's one shot. You cut it in half, and then you flip it. That's the shortcut.
Wow. So when I do it, everybody knows where I got it from. So hold what you got, Marielou, just 1 second for me. And I just had the time of my life. Okay, guys, having an opportunity to actually interview one of the people I watch all the time. She creates great content, but there are also ways that you can connect with some of your favorite creators is with people of video. All right, so Ecamm is actually sponsoring People Video this year, September 19th through the 21st in Albany, New York. For more details and to get your tickets, please go to peoplevideo.com. And when you check out, guess what? There's a discount from Ecamm, 25% off if you use the promo code Ecamm Fam. It is really that simple. This has been a blast tonight. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us, and for all of the love, talking about how great the show has been. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us. This is the coolest thing I do. So again, thank you guys.
Lights, camera, action. Join the stream team with Strick and Brant and be a part of the Stream Network. Our goal is really simple. We're here to help you succeed.